everybody and welcome back to the channel, and if you're here for the very first time, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you. I'm Jane. My husband Mike does everything behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, we have no debt, we've paid off the mortgage, and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Friday we bring you something frugal and food related. Now this week I'm going to share with you my freezer inventory, and that's because in the last video that you saw on our frugal food on Friday, I did some batch cooking. Now I'm going to talk through the inventory in our freezer because that's where we keep our main parts of our meal, we keep our proteins, and what I'm going to do with that and the batch cooking that we've done, plan kind of very roughly, very loosely, our meal plans of our main meals for the next few weeks. Okay, so I've done my stock check, I've written my inventory down, and I've come up with 38 meals in both freezers. And because I've got two freezers, it's okay for me to run one down and use the other one, because at any one stage, one or the other of them needs defrosting, so I'm not worried about that. I also don't have food anxiety about running down a freezer. I know some of you have, and you know, my heart goes out to you, but I don't have that, so I'm okay with that. So let's run through what I've got. I've got a pack of sausages that'll make one meal for us. I've got a pack of, it says like quick frying steak, but it is not up to steak quality. I'll probably make a casserole from that and that'll feed us twice. So, and then I've got gammon steaks, that's just one meal. Chicken pie, that's 2 meals. And meatballs and tomato sauce is 3 meals. And chili con carne, that's 5 meals. So you can see the list, you can see the number next to it. And what I'm doing is I'm counting how many meals I've got. So when I look at this now, I don't need to share with you that I've got to go with the sausages. I'll always have potatoes in the house. There'll always be vegetables in the house. I've always got tinned tomatoes. I've always got pasta sauce. I can turn the sausages into sausage casserole. I can just have sausages and eggs, you know, as a very basic, simple meal. I've always going to have onions in the house, or peppers in the house, or something to make a beef casserole with. I'll always have beef stock, those type of things. So that's when you see the number either side of it. Let's run through the next section. So I have got 3 packs of chicken breasts. So in each pack there's 2 chicken breasts, we'll have a chicken breast each. That's 3 meals. Now next thing you can see here is I've got 2 packs of streaky bacon. I have not counted those as whole meals. A pack of bacon is not enough for a meal for us. I could wrap that bacon around the sausages, and in the UK we call sausages with bacon wrapped around it, we call that pigs in blankets. Now normally that goes with roast chicken in a meal, but with us that could be sausages wrapped in bacon, served with roast potatoes and say cauliflower cheese and vegetables. That's what we call a roast. It's not a proper roast, so I call that a mock roast. So also I could use the streaky bacon and I could wrap that around the chicken and make the chicken like a Sunday lunch and have a Sunday roast. I've got a packet of beef mince. 1,000 things you can do with beef mince, but that's one meal. I've got 2 pork chops in there. Now pork chops usually for us, because it's a bit more of an expensive cut of meat, will become a Sunday lunch. I'll do pork chops, applesauce, roast potatoes, Yorkshire puddings, vegetables and gravy. I've got a pack in there, a small pack that I bought when it was like, you know, reduced. We call it a yellow sticker. So reduced at the end of the day, of casserole beef. I'll probably make a beef bourguignon or just slow cook it just in some stock in the Instant Pot. And in the freezer I've already got some sauce that I made beef bourguignon in the other day and kept the excess, so I could use that. Now I've got lots of fish fillets in there, and there's 1,000 things I can do with fish fillets, from making fish pie to just steaming it, to grilling it, to frying it, to battering it like a fried fish, like fish chips. So lots and lots of different meal options there. Final part of the inventory, I've got a lovely great big pack of salmon pieces. Instead of buying whole packs of salmon, which were running at about 26 euros a kilo, what I do is buy the small chunks of salmon, so it's like the offcuts of salmon, and that came to about 6.50 a kilo. Massive difference, isn't it? So you can literally take a handful of it when I've defrosted it, pop a handful in foil, squirt some lemon juice and butter in there, wrap it up, pop it in the air fryer for 10 minutes, or less than that, 5 minutes until it's cooked, and just serve it as salmon. Then I've got cream of mushroom soup. I've got 2 packs of that, homemade soup. Now, when we have soup as a meal, I can often make soup and a sandwich, or I might do soup and then they will do sort of like baked potato fries on the side. So I get a potato, wash it, dry it, cut it into chunks, tiniest bit of olive oil and salt, pop it in the air fryer. So it's like big chunky chips. Or I might do just a cheese sandwich. You can call it a grilled cheese sandwich. We would just call that a toasted cheese sandwich. I don't mind what you call it. You don't mind what I call it. And that's the same again. I've got sweet potato and red pepper soup, and that if I make it into a meal. However, that could just be a small meal on its own, just a bowl of soup when we've had a main meal in the day. So it could be a main meal, it could be a secondary meal. I've got cottage pies, I've got 2 meals of that. I've got fish pies, 2 meals of that. And then beef and red wine sauce, boeuf bourguignon, and 2 meals of that as well. So that shows you how a quick check in my freezer shows me I've got 38 meals in there. So, meal prepping, getting food cooked, getting meals into the freezer is something that I like to do because I get fed up of cooking and I do not want to cook every day. I have so many options in my freezer at the moment. I know some of you might ask about things about freezer burn. These are all going to get eaten literally within the next few weeks. I would say 6 weeks at the absolute most. It won't get forgotten and it will get used. So nothing will get spoiled. I find things that get freezer burn, if I'm not careful, are opened bags of vegetables. Now, I haven't included these on the list for you to see, but they are on the list for me to see. And I will be making sure that I use up all of those vegetables because I'm coming into the winter season of vegetables that I won't need to buy things like frozen cauliflower. I will continue to buy things like frozen green beans and frozen peas because we use those all year. But I'm coming into the season where we'll be eating things like leeks and all the different cabbages and cauliflower throughout the winter season. So let's wrap this video up today. I can see that I can stretch my meals as far as we can. And often when you can see there that I've got 2 portions of things like cottage pie, often there's actually 3 in there. And that means we can have 2 substantial portions for our lunch on a plate and a small portion, like in a soup bowl, about, a small soup bowl, about the size of your hand, as an evening meal. And that might be something that we'll just have literally the leftovers. So it'll be the cottage pie and the vegetables. So you can see how I'm really doing this to stretch our meals as far as we possibly can, and obviously to stretch our food budget as far as we can. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Thank you to everybody who leaves a comment, and tell me what's in your freezer. How many meals do you think you've got in there? How often do you do a stock check and an inventory of what's in your freezer? Because I'd love to hear from you and we read all of your comments. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.